Hi, it's positive me today. We're here on NASCAR 25. It's very loud. I'm gonna lower that. We're here on NASCAR 2025 to race on the video game, to vroom, get mad, jubilation. Why are my socks up here? That doesn't look very nice. So, we're here. It's NASCAR 25. I don't know what else to say for the intro. So, yeah. I gotta brush my hair. What am I doing? Frickin'. Wow. Where's my frickin'... I just got out of the shower, so, after I got out of the shower, I was running. I was running like this back to the room because I was like, oh shit, it's almost time. I got here on time. Then, my capture card had to, like, desaturate the look of everything. I had it open, and it looked good. Then, in real time, I'm looking at Streamlabs OBS, I'm looking at it. Hold on, let me make sure everything's okay first. Everything is fucking flipped upside down. Power... Okay, we're good. The power flickered last night about 15 times. So, I'm amazed I even have everything working. That was absolutely insane. Okay, so, I'm running back here. I already... Before I even got my shower, I was like, okay, I'm gonna open up everything. It all looks good. Then, it literally, in front of my eyes, I literally see the saturation change from, like, the game look to everything being really bright. Just no reason. No reason at all. So I'm just like, shit. So I'm sprinting. Not really sprinting, because the capture card is like right over here. So like, okay. The only way to solve this problem is to unplug it, plug it back in, because this thing sucks, apparently. And then it worked. So now we're here. Jesus is here. That's an even better day. Hello, Spencer Boynes. Hello, King Brody. Thanks for stopping by. I know it's very early in the day, but we're gonna be here streaming for a while, so I figured, we should, start the stream early. I want to get through at least 5, maybe 6 races. The one of those 5 I can't really run, which we'll get into, because this is the whole part of the rant. It might honestly be its own video, because it's really freaking stupid that I have discovered is a thing. So, yeah. I got my C4 here, which I probably shouldn't be drinking, but I almost spilt it. Holy shit, I almost spilt it. That would have been bad, because it's like basically a fresh can. Oh my god. That was gonna be really bad. Holy shit. Oh my god, I don't know if you saw that. It fucking tipped a little bit. Oh my god. I need to take all my my pills and shit. I didn't even get that far ahead yet. I'm rushing. Where's my brush? I like your microwave. Why does people love my microwave so much? Hi, D. Gooden. Hi. Why do people are so enamored with a microwave in a room? I guess it's just not a normal thing. Is microwave going to be part of the What If Racing Universe lore? Is that what's going on here? I don't know what to say about it. It's just a nice microwave. I had it for a long time, honestly. Do I have anything to show off behind it? Oh, yes, I do. What I should start doing is flexing my Core Season 2 trophy in the background. There you go. So now you get to see that instead of the microwave. Alright, I don't know. You know what? I should have something different in the background every time for the microwave. I need to think of that. I need to think of that more in depth. Because that'd be a funny gag to do somehow, some way. Anyways, we're gonna get into it. Hold on, music, you're very chill, but I gotta stop you. So let's get into this freaking game here. So, yeah, NASCAR 25. Why am I racing? Obviously, championship mode. I just got my cheeky thumbnail because these thumbnails in this game are not good. Obviously, the races we're going to be doing today: Texas, Kansas, Wilkesboro, Charlotte, maybe Nashville, but Nashville's a big question mark. I haven't practiced there, so I might not be in my peak gamer form for that. But you know, everything else I've done pretty good. Obviously, since then, or at least as a reminder, I got my handy dandy guide of difficulty per track. Though some of this might have to change because I found an exploit in the game since then. Obviously, you might have heard of it in the career mode videos that I've done, but obviously since the last time I streamed this, shit was very different back then. So I was just doing everything on default. So these numbers might be completely different now. I don't know. I'm not gonna sit here and finagle that even more. But that's what I'm gonna that's what we got. It's sad that I have to frickin' finagle the settings this much, but that's what we gotta do. I gotta be the beta tester. They should just have me beta test the frickin' game. Let me know. Give me a good idea. What's the rant topic? Oh, it's North Wilkesboro. We'll get there. We're not there yet. It'll take a little bit because I think that's the second race of the stream, I think. Texas? No, third race. So stay tuned. Buckle the fudge in. And probably after an hour and a half, 2 hours, it'll be here. So, as a little reminder of how last stream went, we got 10th at Talladega because the pit logic. Oh no, because the AI, like, some of them ran out of fuel, and that screwed up my chances to actually do anything with the AI. So that's why we got that situation. A.J. Allmendinger got the win. We got 4th at Bristol, 3rd at Darlington, 3rd at Martinsville, 1st at Homestead, and 1st at Vegas. So we have 3 wins on the season, 2 in the last stream. So we're currently the point leader by 45 over Kyle Larson. Honestly, I wish I could just when this is done, I do want to do like a regular season stream series just of like the full points, because I honestly think that'll be a lot harder. Honestly, I think that'll be a lot harder to win a championship full season points than this format. Also, I think it'll just be easier on the eyes of like what the hell to look at. If there's just a toggle of just this, but then if I hit another button like maybe square and it shows like full season points, that'll make things a lot easier because I don't know who the hell is second, who the hell is technically third. It's just going off of wins. I guess that's just how it is in real life. But isn't real life more fucking confusing? I don't know. I'd rather be in Fantasyland where things make sense, where first is first and second is second. Not where first is technically third in points, but then fourth is technically first in points because they got more wins. Old man me can't comprehend it. Tell that to a layman. Maybe they would figure it out more. But yeah, so settings for Texas. I think I got the difficulty, honestly, kind of on lockdown. 103 might be perfect with adjustments, like pit road, not pit road. Honestly, pit road adjustments. That's what we're going to go with. Skill range on 100, recovery on 20, consistency. Everything is really default. Texas, at least with the difficulty and running these race links, I haven't encountered much issues. But, hey, we might get something stupid today, regardless. I mean, rec frequency is on 50. I've heard so many things that sometimes 50 makes things, the AI wreck. Sometimes it could be on 100 and they wreck. Every track is different. I'm not going to sit here and figure that out. Maybe I will someday, but yeah, so that's our general settings. I think these are pretty good. So, yeah, obviously, we're going to see how this kind of all plays out. So, yeah, that's really it. Not much else to really look at. So, we'll just get into Texas. We're not going to waste any of y'all's time. So, don't worry. Rant's going to come in very soon. I got a lot to say about it. It honestly might be needs its own video. Well, I might do this while I'm streaming. Okay, I'm changing the freaking. I got like sepia tone. I don't like that. Why do I look so white? I need more doom and gloom. Suck all the life out of this freaking. There we go. That's how it should look. Also, D Gooden's here. Hi, I've been watching your videos. I've enjoyed them. I'm a big fan. I'm more of a big lurker than anything. Yeah. I honestly, I need to do a NASCAR 25 review with that same exact... I like this trend. I think him and Gary Owen have done this trend now. I need to do my own video of NASCAR 25 where it looks like it's like a confession video. It looks like they're like... It's like an allegation video. I love the framing of it. Just this like straight just... Wait, I need to go full face cam for it. I just like the... That needs to be like a video. Honestly, I wish I should do a NASCAR 25 video just because, I don't know. I can give my experiences, my thoughts on it. Because it is such a mixed bag at times that it's just like, I can see it being so fucking good, but like, oh, it bugs me. So, obviously, Texas... terrible race track nowadays. So we're gonna qualify. No practice. I'm confident that we can qualify good. So tire pressure's at 15. Tire pressure on the right front is 20, and then the right rear is 22. I have the wedge at 49, so I might adjust that. But those adjustments alone make the car pretty competitive. And again, the default setup is terrible. I think some tracks it gives, I don't know if it's this track, but certain tracks it gives you like 20 on the lefts and then 40 on the rights, and it's just awful. It's horrible. So yeah, you can get a lot of time just doing that.
Listen, buddy, we don't need
Since the C4 was in the fridge and it was already open, it's lost a lot of its pickiness. So now it actually tastes a little more tolerable, which I'm gonna need energy after this stream because this shit's gonna get stupid here very soon. So 16 in the fuel. Yeah, I really wish I could hear the game. That's one of my biggest cardinal sins against humanity, is not being able to hear the game, because I actually like how the game sounds. I like how when you lap the throttle there's like the tinging sound you hear. You hear so much of it. It really makes driving it really fun, just being able to listen to those details. I don't know, I just find that stuff fascinating. It's just doing the videos I can't really ever hear it. So yeah. Also, big shout to the one person that watches these streams after video on demand, or video on demand, I guess that's what you call it. Anyways, 5th place. I will take it. That looks scary. That looks like we're going to destroy the field, but AI are pretty good here, so I'm not too worried. Kyle Larson on pole. Yeah. I guess that's the other thing, too, with this game that I keep thinking about. Again, I'm just pointing things out. They're probably not... They're not going to like me saying this. It's just every race, the AI, like... It's like always Kyle Larson's on pole. It's always the same drivers starting up front, or that's, like, really dominant. I just wish there was more of a spread, or like a little bit of a variance. Because after one season, it's almost like there's no incentive to even play the game ever again, because it's just like you're always going to have the same people running really good. And then it makes it even harder to really win a championship or really do anything, because they're always top 5. So it's always something to kind of think about. Hello, Groovy Goose. I like that name. Thanks for stopping by on this early Thursday afternoon, at least on the East Coast. West Coast is just still morning. We got 20 laps in the first stage. Looks like Bell's in an alternate pace scheme. That's nice. I wish I had an alternate pace scheme, but Truex only has one because he only wanted to do Daytona and then crash, and then he pieced out. He said he was going to do Xfinity races, and he never did. I'm upset by that. I really want to see him kick the field's ass of Rockingham, because I think he's still got that dog in him. Give him motivation, he'll freaking kick the field's ass again.
Stay low. Clear outside.
Yeah, car feels pretty good. 103 almost seems to be a perfect balance. At least with these pit road adjustments and stuff, it really does seem like the car is going to handle pretty good. Atlanta is broken. The issue happened. It happens to everyone. What? Good to know. I didn't really know that. That was a thing. I thought it was just a me issue. Is that just because there's two? Is there two Atlanta races in the truck season? I can't remember. But that's good to know that's just an issue. I really thought the truck was just that bad. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of wonder if I'd lower the difficulty, would I have fared a better shot? I guess I'll never. I guess I could try the Xfinity someday, but I don't know. It's just weird. Use the broken so the game take the advantage and she's to win. Well, that's good to hear. She's to win. Go on the way outside, use the driver on the outside. Well, that's good. Hey, freaking, if the game's gonna cheat, bone you, or do some kind of underhand tactics, it's at that point it's kind of fair to cheese it. Which is why I have black flags off entering pure, because the AI outlap speed is so fast that I kind of need that. Yeah, that's what you gotta do. Damn. Thank you for the 2, Smooth. I appreciate that a lot. That's actually a really good idea. I don't know how exactly NR03's ratings were, because I haven't played the game enough to really know. But I mean, there's definitely a lot of ways you can adjust the ratings to make it so, you know, to make it more dynamic. If it works some of that in, which, considering this is iRacing, and the iRacing was from the friends and crew of NR03, then that should be possible. That's just one of the things I notice a lot with this game. It's just like every time, like, I was practicing at Phoenix like all week. Not all week, a couple days, but every time I started up a race in the Cup Series, it was like, it felt like every time it was just Christopher Bell on pole. It wasn't like, it never deviated. I kind of wish there was a little bit more of a variance. Like, not that I want Bell to, you know, have one race run like 20th or 30th, and then the other one he's like leading, but just, I don't know. Maybe not have him be on pole. Maybe not have him be as dominant. It was just literally, it was Bell, Hamlin, and Byron, I think, and Blaney were like the 4 I kept seeing up at the front that whole time. Also, Kyle Larson's really fast. This is exactly what happened when I was practicing. I qualified really good, but this is about as far as I got to second, and then Larson just kind of checked out from everyone, and everybody's pushing me. I can't really do anything else. And I don't really know why, because Barfield's fine. I don't know where I can get more speed. So I think this just is destined as a Kyle Larson dub, and there's just not a whole lot I can probably do about it. He's not even running the bottom lane. Now he is. Yeah, I just like have nothing. Does this track suck in real... In this video game? Yes, it still does. It's still awkward as hell. If 3 and 4 was like 1 and 2, I'd probably be giving this track a lot more of a B tier category instead of a freaking D tier. D minus, borderline F, because it turns into a shit show. At least that's what I've heard from the spring race. And that's how Logano got to win, which is... If there's a shit show race, I don't even need to know who wins, because more often than not, or half the time, it's going to be Logano that probably benefits from it. I wish I had a career like Logano's where I had like 13 to 15 wins based on just luck. I wish I had that type of career. Jesus Christ, like... That's... What was so nice with Truex winning, when I did the every win video for him, is... Every win of his, except for one, which was Vegas 2017, because Brad Keselowski was having mechanical issues right at the very end of the race. That gave Truex win because of that. But every other win, Truex just had to straight up just kick the field's ass. Or clearly was the best car the whole time. Like, he has had probably one of the most legitimate careers of just winning. At least he's definitely up there. Where I can't really sit here and say, like, oh, he didn't deserve that, or he lucked into it. Truex doesn't really luck into wins. He'll just freaking win the race by just destroying the field. And I kind of like that. It was fun for me as a Truex fan. Probably not fun for literally anybody else. Also, Larson is 2 seconds up on the field. Tyler has yet to really kick in. So the only advantage I got to gain on him is the pit entry, but I don't know if that's going to be enough. But yeah, thank you for the 2, though, regardless. I do really appreciate that. It doesn't matter how big or small the amount is. It really does mean a lot for anyone to take the time to do it. I'm happy. Yeah, this game just needs a little more. It doesn't need floaties. It's not like Ignition. I was in Roots'. I remember that stream with Roots' live stream. He brought me in like a call with him to give him his thoughts. I remember purposely dialing back my real frustration. The way he was kind of acting, I got this weird feeling. I don't know if he wanted me to go wild hog with it. That it might have given him a bad look or something. So I kind of dialed it back, and that's where the term like the game needs floaties thing became birthed from that. As like it was supposed to be criticism, but like in a gentle way, because it needs help. It was another way of saying the game needs help. Obviously, there was no save in that game, but yeah, I just remember that. It was good times. But this game doesn't need floaties, at least not in that category. It definitely, I question shit in other areas. Also, we're going to be pitting very, very soon. Let me request a pit here.
Bring it in. Hit this. All right,
There
let us
we
know
go.
what adjustments you need.
Josh Rayume won the championship in a truck series before he had enough reputation. That's kind of funny. I can't believe that. Charlotte 2016 is NASCAR kicking. I don't know if we'll ever see that performance like that. Oh my god. As a Truex fan at the time, that race was boring as shit. But you know what?
Bring it in and hit this time.
As a Truex fan, it was the greatest freaking race ever to see him destroy the field like that. Especially in its Coke 600, you're never seeing that again. And that was in an era without stages too, so there's not even like a. It was insane. We're never getting that again, and I think it deserves to not be done again because it was such a ass whooping. Well, I'm gonna pit. Actually, I'm gonna change my strategy. I'm gonna lower that wedge just one more click to see if that helps. Lower the tire pressures again. I don't know if this is gonna help, but I mean, we need something to get some speed out of this car. Oh boy, see what I mean with them barreling it down there? Okay, good. 4 tires were good. This game doesn't need floaties. It just needs a few patches to where the holes are in the floaties. That's actually a really good way to look at it. Not Maddie. That I like that. That's a good one. I can't believe Extra Emily was part of the NASCAR Crazy League. I don't know anybody in the NASCAR Crazy League except for really Tim the Tatman. And that was really because his Fall Guys videos were like so popular at the time because he was so infamous for just losing. That's really all I know of the Creator Clashes. Yeah, how that fumbled was awful. Okay, in and out. I'm gonna get back on track because I think they still get a good outlap. Yep, they still do. It's not as bad as I thought. Not as bad as I thought. That's actually... We got like a 2 car length advantage, but considering I barreled it down pit road, that's not as big of an advantage. I'll take it. I guess we're gonna see, because we definitely undercut Larson getting into pit road, so we should gain time from that. I don't know how much. We were 2 seconds back. So I'm curious just to see how much time we're gonna eventually gain on him. No idea why Reddick's going up that high. That does not work in Texas. Larson's getting held up by traffic. Thank you, Allgaier. I appreciate it. That's virtual P1 right there, essentially. Allgaier helping out Truex, one of my other favorite drivers. I mean, it's just written in the stars. That's like a line from Queen. Oh my god. Written in the stars. Oh, that's the Made in Heaven song, right? Oh my god. I think that's it. Out. No, yeah, it was me. No, what song was that? No, I gotta look this up. Mabel is Clabeling. I'm angry for a different reason. Queen, Wiki, because it was the written in the stuff. I think it was Made in Heaven. Hold on. Wikipedia, save me. That's another Queen song too. Oh my god, what a reference. If I see it, it's gonna click. It's gonna frickin' click when I see the frickin' track listing. I think it is. Okay, I think I figured it out. Okay, sorry, I had to frickin' deviate. So I'm a frickin' moron. But want to tell us a story of your reactions to the 2016 Daytona 500? If I was recording a video for that back then, Jesus Christ, I don't know. I would be so upset. I really thought it would be. Trini Tempa, I don't know. That's what my brain was thinking of. Cole Custer, do not turn right. He thought about it. Alright, we got lap traffic as a buffer. We might win the stage because of this, so... Thank you, lap traffic, for boning Larson. I guess Allgaier probably helped with that too, so that was kind of lucky that Allgaier just held him up. We should have a big enough gap here to hang on to this lead. I don't think he's going to gain 7/10 in 2 laps. Were you screaming? Probably. Actually, in 2016, where the hell was I in 2016? I think I was at work back then. I think I was working on that day. Oh yeah, because I remember, because as I was watching that race, I was trying to see, because they have like TVs in the restaurant. And in like the bar area, so as I'm working on it, I'm like trying to like look and see, and I got to see the finish, and I thought Truex won it, and then I saw Hamlin, and then I got really upset. I hope he cried. Wow. I hope this happens exactly to Briscoe, just so I can be like, you know what, I'm gonna eat your tears, Mabel. I'm gonna eat your freaking. I'm not even lick them. I'm gonna eat them. I'm gonna freeze them and eat them as we'll win the stage 1. Hell yeah, we won stage 1. Truex dub dab. I don't want to talk about music because I still think about that big blue note hidden in my pocket. I like that song. I miss Toby. So yeah, 4 tires and fuel. And we're gonna see how the stage kind of plays out. Wow. Wow. Clabo calling Truex. You know what? I at least could have the pride that Truex was a stage merchant. I take a lot of pride in that. How dare you? I like that. Briscoe needs to get more stages than Truex, and maybe Truex can finally have his throne taken away from him. Well, actually, technically, Larson has the throne taken away from him earlier in the year because freaking nothing's ever nice in this world. Why the hell did I start 9th? We had people that didn't freaking pit, didn't they? Well, that's really stupid. Alright, well, I'm just going to go with or not. Or try to. This is going to stack up the field a lot, so I'm just going to go down here and make these passes up. So this is, I don't know if this is a really great strategy. I mean, they're still got the pit in the stage regardless. I don't know. I guess I can give them props for trying something, but they're still gonna have the pit in this stage regardless. It's, I don't know, whatever. I mean, it's good for me because that's gonna get Larson held up in traffic. Oh, my dinger. Carlo, buddy. It's laughable to see how bad the AR is. It is bad. It is really, really bad. I can't stand it. Jesus Christ, Lord. I mean, wow. Bell is the only one that is closest to us within our tire strat. I don't get it. I really don't get it. I can steal footage of you going into the pits at full speed for video. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can steal that. I don't know if you mean for this stream, but the truck race I did yesterday at Homestead is a really good example because I pitted at the same time as like one of another truck driver. I don't know the name at the moment. And I pitted at the same time as him, but then when we left pit road, he had like multiple second lead. It was really, really bad. So that's, if you want to use that, go right ahead. That and Winvow's ARCA race at Michigan is a really big example of that. Because the outlap speed is pitiful for the player, which is a massive problem. which I think in your chat I was lurking. I was lurking with my, you know, my raccoon-looking face. And I think in the chat I saw you were in a voice call, and I saw the files for the video review you're doing. I was like, oh, I'm getting hyped. I'm hyped for it. So I'm looking forward to that. I recorded my video just splicing footage on top of it, so I see an example. Yeah, you could use that one. I don't care. Hey, I appreciate you asking though. Some people just don't, which I usually don't care because my video's up online for anybody to use. But it's that added layer of I want to pump my chest. Ow! A little bit of respect right there. I hurt. Ow. Any more patches coming, or this is all we got? With this game, I genuinely don't know. Are we at like patch 12? I know that sounds like a cool number of like, oh, they're really updating the game, but it, more or less, I kind of feel like this kind of tells you that the game really wasn't ready for October. It really should have just came out in February for the Daytona Speed Weeks. I think that would have been better to iron out all these bugs. And I mentioned it in my other stream, but it is something I want to bring up because I know people have a lot of their opinions on Ryan Moody for one reason or another, but this was one point I didn't think of, and it is a real possibility, and I think there's some truth to it. With that many patches, that just more chances for the game's like career mode files to get like corrupted. This happened way back in like NASCAR Heat 2, with one of their updates came out and it like reset the career mode, something with that. So it's a possibility. So as nice it is to get that many updates, I would just wish the game just came out in a better state so there'd just be less updates and it'd be a little more polished. That's really my gripe. Because if something happens to the career mode, I mean, or corrupts it, I mean, it's gonna be a really frustrating day for everyone. Not just me, but like everyone. So yeah, I just wish it just came out in February or something, just so the game could get ironed out. So when it gets released, you know, you don't have, you know, all these patches. So I think that's just something. Also, we're still leading this race by 3 seconds over Bell. Where was this speed in stage 1? Remember when Kyle Larson got like 2 seconds on me? Why have they not ran me down? I really expected to lose like a couple seconds here. I don't. This didn't happen in my practice runs, I'll tell you that. Though also, to be fair, I think I had a yellow in stage 1 that kind of changed the complexion of the race. I don't know. I'm just really surprised I'm holding my own like this. Maybe the wet adjustment helped a lot with that. Maybe 104 is technically possible. I don't know. I'm really surprised I'm holding out like this. Like, I really thought they were gonna run me down after the lap traffic stuff, but a blind squirrel finds nut with it. Wow. Is this what it sounds like when I freaking give him sass in my streams? Is this what it sounds like? Usually I'm always just no. I mean that's the. Is this the sass Clayble has to experience while live streaming? Man, it's I kind of like it. It'll be out Friday. Okay, you aren't getting any more patches after the PC release. Yeah, it's possible. PC release is just around the corner, isn't it? It's like next week. They're full focused on that. They haven't checked the bug logs and asked for Discord server interview. I heard that they didn't check it in like, I think last week I was saying that in my Phoenix stream that they didn't check in like 2 weeks. Now it's 3 weeks, which is interesting, I guess, that it's been that long. We're gonna hit and make our adjustments. So that part's interesting. So they were doing all these like bugs and patches while they haven't looked at the game in a couple weeks, isn't it? Isn't that weird to think about? There's something with the timeline that is confusing my simpleton brain. We're gonna pit, get my 4 tires and fuel, and we're gonna. The stage is kind of working out really good.
We lost the lead. Let's get it back.
Why is my phone blooping? Hello? Why? Why am I getting my phone blooping here? Oh, the song you thought I was referencing. Yeah, sorry. I wish I knew that song. Massacre 25 series is trash. Who the hell even invited Call of Duty streamers for? There's nothing inherently wrong with that idea of having bigger creators play the game. It just, when you have the game not function, or you have it so disorganized, or you have freaking Mamba Smith telling them like, "Oh, just join public lobbies" as an option, you're gonna have a disaster. And that's exactly what happened. Which I heard, I think after the stream was over, one of the creators got in contact with another one. I think 4 or 5 of them actually got to race each other, but it was when the whole event was over, and then they got to work, which is some very twisted, horrific irony in that. I hope you can mod PC and import paints directly into the file setting. We're gonna uncover, not me, but like Commander and Murph and them, they're gonna probably uncover, maybe even High TV if he's still around. Hopefully, I kind of miss him. They'll uncover the game stuff, and we'll kind of figure probably things out, because it'd be really cool to mod the game for the better, or just to see how the game was coded in certain aspects. I guess that would be kind of interesting. Also, this stage is 1 lap longer than stage 1. Sure. That's weird. And we still got a sizable lead. I'm just surprised. They were doing another one this week. It looks like they just completely scrapped it. That is interesting. Jesus Christ, are we going to have like 15, 20 patches? I mean, if this game's going to be out for 2 years. Cole Custer. Not the first time Cole Custer's done something stupid, but like, wow. I wonder if the last stage is going to be like this too. Or are we going to have AI stay out again and then keep people like a lap down? I don't know. I mean, if we're just racing the AI fair and squarely, then I don't think we have any chance with them. But I think lap traffic's really kind of saving our bacon here. Yeah, I'll be very curious to see what the mod, like, what the game's going to look like on PC. I'm actually kind of horrified because I don't think my PC can handle it. I'm going to have to lower the graphics. I ain't really willing to spend out a fork ton of money for just one game. I was barely able to play Rain Code properly. I actually had on like the max settings for a long time, but then, well, that game, it had freaking Rain in it, and Rain is very demanding on the hardware from what I can recall. So yeah, I'm not surprised the game had some problems rendering. Not really rendering, it's just loading or textures not being as crisp. I wasn't really too worried about it. But yeah, I need to play more different games too. Maybe not for like live streams, because I know no one's gonna care, but like just for myself, it's just hard to find that time. Like, I would love to play Persona. I gotta find new characters to simp for. You know, I mean, Robin and Kyoko are really good. Halara's a really good one. But man, it's just it's frustrating because after you go from One Piece to like anything else, you're just always sitting there like, One Piece did this so much better. The character arcs and everything. It's like, it's so hard to find something that's on that level, because how often are you gonna find stuff in media that's like, they take years to build up their arc and it subtly clues it in and adds later. It just, I don't know. Anyways, weeping aside, that's a stage dub. I'll take it. I'm talking about the Creator League. They said they were gonna do another one. Oh yeah. Yeah, they definitely said that. I think they said in December. So they got a month and some change to iron shit out. Which again, really shouldn't have been hard to start. If they literally just had everybody in a call, or, I mean, I don't know if you can have 30 people in a call, but if he just had the freaking foresight of, hey, if shit isn't working, let's not just throw them into a public lobby Because anyone that's ever played online gaming for the last 16, 17, 18 years knows that's a horrible idea to give your viewers a first impression of that. So, that's a whole other thing. That was so stupid. They said December, but people were saying the wrong date. It was supposed to be yesterday. Oh my god. Yeah, I was confused at first too, because people were saying December, like November. Then I was watching a stream and it said December, so people really fumbled that.
Stay low.
The last stage,
We'll get the lead back. Stay focused.
everybody pitted like they're supposed to,
Stay low.
which is good. So we'll have to pit at least one time on lap 58, 57. So we'll be pitting with about 10 laps to go. We did get the lead there. We're going to see if our car can hang on. It is crazy. I guess we're going to see how this plays out. When we get more schemes. I wish I had the answers to those questions. Jesus.
Inside door. Clear, clear.
I don't honestly know. Unless they're going to start doing this for like later in the month or next month for like DLC. Obviously, I would prioritize fixing the game first, which I think they've done that a lot, or at least thrown in as much patches as they could. But yeah, I'm curious as someone that got the pre-order bonus. I like to frickin' see where that extra $20 is going to go to, and I'm hoping, there's just a lot of paint schemes to make it worth your buck. NASCAR Heat Evolution, as bad as that game was, there was an absurdly amount of DLC that is just lost media now that you just can't get unless you bought it at the time, which I didn't do back in 2016 because I hated the game so much. I didn't think DLC was worth it. That and getting all the DLC together, it was like $10 for like every pack or something, and there was like 6 or 7 of them. So you're telling me that like to get all the DLC you need to spend another $70 for paint schemes? I didn't think was worth it, no matter how much they give you. So the game is not only $60, but then to get the DLC was an extra 60 or 70. It's like that game, and it ain't fucking worth $130. I'll tell you that much. Maybe like GTA like 6 caliber, because that's like a revolutionary genre-defining like series. That might be the only exception to where like, yeah, I could justify that with that. That's like A++++ category of quality. That not Heat Evolution. I'm having a stroke. Not Heat Evolution. Do I do and play NASCAR related stuff on Twitch? I have not. Man, I haven't thought about Twitch in a long time. I think the last time I did something on Twitch was for iRacing. That was in like 2020. I've thought of that. It's just, I think the biggest thing with me is if it's not NASCAR, I just suck at other games. I was playing Raincoat, and I did pretty okay for much of it, but the last chapter, I like sucked so bad at it. That was the same thing with the other game, like Danganronpa, which you can look back on. I did the first chapter. I enjoyed the game a lot, but I sucked at everything and it's just a me thing. It really is a skill issue, and I don't understand the curse that I have where like NASCAR games are like the only thing I can play competently and not fumble it, but anything else I can't. And honestly, it's worse than like Darkside Phil. If anyone knows Darkside Phil, he's kind of like notorious for just being bad at playing games. Like I'm like worse than that, and I don't really think there's any fun of watching someone completely not fumble at the game and getting mad. And it's not even like the funny mad, it's just like the depressing mad. Also, is Harman really about to pass me on the outside at Texas? Like, he got to run on the outside. We're gonna fix that shit. There we go. Yeah. Well, we're keeping up with the AI. They're not just driving away with me. So that's insane again, like what the wedge can do. That was just one click on the wedge, and it made the car that much better. We figured out how had to add it to your game, at least on PC, similar to how we did in 2013. Well, that's interesting. Well, I think this tells us that I could have upped this to like 104 and probably been okay. Which is actually surprising. So I wonder if this track on 105 with like a full custom setup would we then get like really competitive, like a competitive experience. That's what 105 seems to be. Like 105 is for full custom setups, and then 102 to 103, maybe even 104 is possible on default. Not default, but like pit road adjustments. I don't know. It does seem like you need to be a setup guru to kind of to be able to do all this. I couldn't even get the car down the bottom there. Alright. Oh, a little loose. Okay. That scared me a bit. Dan's getting a third season. I heard about that too. I watched the first couple episodes of it, and I thought it was fine. I didn't really stick with it. I think just, I think this is just more of a modern media thing, and again, it might be me just being really spoiled to like One Piece in general. The characters just develop really, really fast. Like, I'm so used to like characters being introduced and slowly building up their arcs. I think there's just a lot more satisfaction of watching an arc kind of blossom and develop. I think Nami and Robin's are kind of the biggest examples of that, where Nami's kind of is introduced and she, at least to me, is perceived as a bit annoying and bitchy, and just really kind of having an obnoxious attitude of sorts. But as you learn more about her, you kind of understand where she kind of gets this from and why she's so obsessed with like money, where that stems from, why she hates pirates in the way that she does, and it justifies a lot of her hatred and anger. And then then you understand like why she became that person. There's a lot of just thoughtfulness on the character arcs. I'm gonna take 4 tires and fuel. Sorry, I'm going on my weeb tangents. I'm sorry. And, I mean, fuck, it's my stream. I mean, might as well just, after all these years, I should just talk about random shit that I want to talk about. A long stream, got a lot of talking tangents to go on, so, sorry if this is not interesting. I get it. I'm pitting this lap, by the way, as a race update. Me and Hamlin have been very close to each other. It's been very bro-shiply. I have now turned a new simp leaf to liking Hamlin. Never thought I would say that. But as tragic as... I'm going to undercut him, so... We're going to be in good shape. So... Yeah, Yeah, I don't know. I'm so used to arcs taking their time. And that's kind of the thing with One Piece is, like... As you're watching it, I think most people don't think, like, it's going to lead to anything. People just kind of probably look at it and be like, oh, it's just a silly, dumb show. But, like, there's already being seeds being planted right at the beginning to set that up later. I guess it's long-form storytelling, but it's done really fucking good. And for a show that looks so silly, it tackles really adult subject matters with a lot of, you know, nuance and care. And it's a show as for so many years, I always had the stigma of it being too stupid or too silly. And even videos that I would see online, there was, I think, I think it was Giguk, and I think he was talking about, like, memorable anime moments, and he put one scene from one arc, and he praised it. But then, as he's praising it, he just goes into like a mini rant of just talking about how stupid the designs are and how silly they are. And it's like, well, any type of positivity that you gave me on that moment that might have wanted to encourage me to like even check it out is completely undermined because you literally end the whole segment of just saying like, oh, it's stupid and silly and the designs are too stupid and you can't take it serious. It's like, well, don't fucking say that. I hate that. So many years, I've gotten the wrong impression, and it bugs the shit out of me. Which part of me really hates online stuff. And also, One Piece from like 2011 to 2015. it just had a bad rep. It just absolutely had a bad rep. The anime just did not look good. When it got into the post-time skip era, it just, most of the time it didn't look good. The one arc in particular dragged so badly, was basically memed to death on. The proportions on females became ridiculous. It was like if Jessica Rabbit but on steroids, which the manga never did. The manga definitely kept them slender, but it didn't exaggerate the proportions. It just was at an all-time low. So me seeing this with not knowing anything, you just get such a horrible impression, and I hated it. Also, we did lose, we gained about a second during that cycle. We did beat Larson in the undercut. This has been a shockingly tame Texas race. When I was practicing, it was a lot harder. All because I made a wedge adjustment. One wedge adjustment warrants an entirely different difficulty. I don't know. I'm gonna have to change my freaking writing here because I think 104 might be perfect. Jesus feels the same way. I could do racing games a lot better than any other game. I could tell people play them more pro. Yeah, it's. I'm glad someone relates to that. I'm sorry I didn't see that sooner, but yeah, that's kind of how I feel, and it's frustrating because like the visual novel games should be like the easiest ones to play, but obviously Danganronpa was a little more that and Rain Code a little more like you have to listen to the story, you have to find clues or holes in the statements that the characters are saying, like a contradiction. It is kind of, I guess, Ace Attorney-like. I know that's a very popular one. I think Ace Attorney came out long before Danganronpa did, so I think it has a lot of that vibe, which I probably would like Ace Attorney pretty well if it's something like that. I just know, like, as far as a live stream, I would suck. Because I just can't either not pay attention, but I don't listen to the conversation up. I just like immediately try to find a hole in the conversation. Like if I see it's one of those things, like if I just sat and fucking just listened, I'm always so gun-ho on just like trying to find a hole in the argument like immediately where there isn't one. In the game, the games basically encourage you to listen to everything, and then after it gives you all of the statements, then one of the characters talk about everything that they heard, and there's like clues in there. So like the game helps you through that, and I was too stubborn to do that. That's a whole other thing. That's more of a player issue than the game issue. Though the first Danganronpa's like mechanics are a little clunky. The second and third ones fixed that a lot, which I know that's definitely one of them. But like the first Danganronpa and the second one, I think are really, really fun. I don't know. Sorry, I'm going on tangents. That's why I stick with a lot of animes. That's a lot of animes today. That's why I stick to Pokemon. That's it. Don't get any bad body forms of Pokemon. People care. Yeah, that was kind of a thing with One Piece for a couple of years there for the anime, which is frustrating because the manga never did that. The proportions were always fine. Look, I don't care if they're a little exaggerated. I don't. It doesn't bother me. But when you have the waist like 5 inches and then the bust is like 20, it's just a little too much to me. Thankfully nowadays the proportions are really way better. They're so much better. The anime from like 2018, 19 on up has been overall so much better. I wish the series was like that really since the beginning, since 2011. But thankfully the writing and the story is so good, I can overlook a lot of that. Because they are like really good. Also, white flag, by the way, at Texas. We have a 1.1 second lead over Larson. He did gain a couple of tenths, but I think it was about a second and a half back, so he has kind of reeled me in a little bit. This race has been shockingly easy. In stage 1, like, Larson put up a good fight. Like, he was kicking my ass. And then the pitting and then lap traffic, I think, screwed him up. And then after that, it was just kind of clear sailing from there. We did make a wedge adjustment, so that might have helped, too. But I still encourage every. Okay, that's a win. That's a good dub.
You're unbelievable.
Yeah, I still encourage anyone to check out One Piece because it's really good. It's really fucking good. It's better than I ever imagined because for so many years I had a horrible stigma of it from just shit I saw online, and it did not give the show justice because it's really fucking good. There's a reason why it's like the 7th highest selling comic, manga, and like book in fiction, only behind people that have been around for hundreds of years. So like there's a reason why it's one of those cases the sales justify the quality. So I think it's a very special piece. I mean, I would not have tattoos of it if it didn't mean anything. So I owe a lot to it, and it's really special. I do need to rewatch it. But yeah, the anime just had a horrible stigma from like that 2011 to 2015 span, 2016 even, and it was just really frustrating because that and just how it pads things out. Obviously, there's always going to be a form of padding in a weekly show to not get caught up with the manga. That's normal. And it just gets ridiculous. We're going to go to Kansas. I'm actually going to have to update my handy-dandy guide here for Texas because... Actually, how do I... Okay, there we go. Alright. Let's see. I can go 104... 104 for Texas sounds pretty good. We'll do that. But yeah, I've always been a big fan of it. I really I don't know what really more to say. It's very special. And it's the messages, yeah, honestly when we get to like the Robin's arc, when I actually can finally talk about it, is such a meaningful message that I don't think any show has done to that level. It's so fucking good. I don't want to talk about it too much because it fucking make me want to cry like a bitch. So Kansas, I think on 103 is gonna be okay with everything. I guess we're gonna find out. So we got really about almost max points on everything with that. I think we did get max points and everything. So we're good. More dubs, more points. Top 16 cutoff. Ross Chastain's currently in by 27 over Brad, so the cutoff's not very interesting. Shane Van Gisbergen has yet to win a road course, which is very shocking. We have 8 different winners thus far. So, let me just double check my settings here. I backed out of... Why do I back out of it so much? Let me just double check my settings for Kansas. I think 103 might be good for Kansas. I'm not sure. I guess we're going to see. I'm just surprised 104 could be theoretically possible. Which I just never would have imagined just because 103 seemed to be pretty good at a couple different tracks I was practicing on. So, I don't know, but yeah, let's do Kansas here. We got to get to my rant, I can't get too aggravated. I should turn my air off too, right? I don't know if that messes up the audio, but I should be safe. Better safe than sorry. I'm gonna get hot in this room though, so I know this this robe is not gonna last for much longer. Let's do some practice here to make sure I got the car good.
Alright, let's go get some practice laps in, see what we got.
I guess this is a me thing, and again, this is not like a slight on Pokemon or really anything, because I don't really have any problems with it. It's let me check my setup here. Everything looks good. I have the wedge at 49. We're gonna see what that does in practice. It's just a me thing, because there's just a lot of people that just like really cute character designs, and then like that's it. And I guess for me, as I've gotten older, I just always prefer there to be a lot more to the character. I guess it's just I really like the cool factor. Kyoko's like a big, like, she has a very big cool factor. Halara kind of has that as well, but there's a bit of character to them. And I think I think the idea tsundere, I think is another trope. I think I do like if it's handled right. I don't like the trope if it's just there has to be more to it than just that type of trait. If they kind of change or form throughout, like they start one way and then they be a little more softer, or their character kind of, I guess an arc, a noticeable arc. I guess I've always liked those, but that character trait of the cool, quiet ones that start off being really cold, and then like throughout the game or show or whatever, they kind of loosen up a little more, be a little more open. I think that stuff is way more fascinating just because I think it's more relatable to me. I've always liked arcs like that. Robin's like a big thing with that. Nami's not really. She's very extroverted, but she's definitely one I think that kind of breaks the mold for what I usually prefer. Just because there's so much, so much aspects written to her that makes her really interesting. Because if it was in the hands of another person, they would just make her just obsessed with money to like an over-the-top degree, where that's the only thing. Like that's her focus. But the show has given us many examples of like when push comes to shove, she'll prioritize the safety of her crew, other people, than money. Which is, you know, I appreciate that. There's a lot of really nice things with that. There's just a lot that I very much appreciate. So I don't know. There's just things like that I find interesting with it. I do wish I could find something that's on that same caliber. It's hard. It just seems like it's so rare, or it feels impossible. I always wondered if I could ever find something that's like as compelling. I just don't know. I am really off my goal time, by the way. So is 103 just not doable? Is tire wear too much of a thing? Affecting the car? Probably. Loosen up a little bit just to see if that gets a little bit better, because it seemed a bit too tight still. I don't know why Kansas feels really tight with this car. Are you getting the day off on Tuesday because of Veterans Day? Shockingly not. I'm not really. I think they opened earlier that day too for sales and stuff. Or for Veterans Day, like sales, discounts. So, that'll be a thing. But usually, how the pattern goes, there's a good chance a lot of people may not even be aware that they're going to be open earlier. That was sort of the case with Halloween, like, they opened like one day early. Or like, not one day early, an hour earlier. And, like, nobody came in. Like, I don't think anybody knew. So, yeah. They're definitely doing that. There's certain days that they'll open a bit earlier for, and that's definitely one of them.
Inside door. Clear.
What's our goal time going to be? 31.1. So, we did hit the goal time, just our tire wear is, I guess, really bad on the long run. So, yeah, we definitely hit the goal time. By about 2/10, so I don't know. I remember practicing for this off camera, and even though we got the goal time by that similar amount, it was still kind of difficult. So I guess we're gonna find out. The only track I don't know of is freaking Nashville, because I didn't get that far yet. But yeah, that should be pretty good enough. I'll adjust the freaking wedge or something in the race if it gets too tight. Too loose, whatever, make it better in the long run. I can't talk. Let's qualify here.
We're up. Get out there.
Yeah, with Dan, I don't know, but Dan to Dan, it is kind of one of the newer things. I don't know.
You got the right car. Now trust it.
It's frustrating just because I think this is just how media is nowadays, and just the culture of Shonen Jump, that story arcs can't take their time because the authors are so afraid that like the series is gonna get canceled. So like we have to progress things very, very quickly. Momo's arc or character, it's like in the first few chapters, you get a good summary of like everything with her, and maybe it develops, which is very possible. But it's one of those immersion breaking things, because early in the story, like she has her powers, but she's not presented as like physically strong or anything. Like she definitely has the psychic powers, which is, you know, cool, but not like physically strong. So when you have like a giant monster hit her into like a rock wall or whatever, and she's fine, I'm gonna start questioning what the hell is happening. Like that should be one of those hits that like she should be bleeding profusely or like knocked out. How did she even withstand that? So then like my immersion gets broken there, and then Okran gets like a new form so early. And I just think of other shows like, I don't know. I guess that's kind of the thing, right? These shows always have a transformation, but Dragon Ball didn't do that for a long time. It wasn't really technically until the Saiyan arc, but that's not really a transformation technically. One Piece, it took hundreds of chapters. Bleach, I think, happened within the first 20 chapters. Naruto was actually pretty early as well, so maybe I'm just used to, like, I don't know. One Piece just kind of, like, we're at the point now, things are, like, so fucking wild, but, like, it starts off so simple, but it gradually crescendos into all of this stuff. It just takes its time, which it's such a different way of telling a story that I don't know if newer generations are even going to appreciate, because they're just going to be impatient. I don't know. I just don't like that immersion breaking logic of seeing someone that's like presented as for the most part a human gets thrown into a wall and breaks the wall, and like it's such a like by a giant creature, and then they get out of it fine. It's like there's no, it's like that's definitely should be like battle damage, severely injured. Like I'm like freaking damage scaling here, but I don't know. I'm going on my weeb tangent, I'm sorry. Hello, Ally. Hope everybody having a good Thursday afternoon. I'm trying my best. We qualified 15th for that. Rating score for NASCAR 25 thus far, I'm going to give it 5.5 to 6 out of 10, which is almost kind of what I was hoping this game would be as a starter. So it met the expectations of that. Sox didn't get completely flipped off, but like, I think, as a general thought, I think this game is good for if you want to get it as like a sale on Steam. I think it'll probably be good with that. So if it's 15 under, I think it's kind of worth your buck at that point. Ram is back in NASCAR Truck Series. Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, I'm glad to hear. Maybe Dodge will come back in Cup someday. I don't know, it'll be nice to see.
Flip the switch, time to go.
Biela, hello, Amani Jones, thank you for stopping by. I haven't seen that name in a while, so it's nice to see you back here. I appreciate it. See, I'd be curious to see like what Dodge is gonna do in trucks. I'm curious if this is, you know, Dodge is actually gonna come back to the Cup Series someday. That'll definitely be my new favorite manufacturer, because I was always a fan of Dodge when they were in Cup. Well, at one point I did have a Dodge vehicle, Dodge Stealth. I was always a fan of Dodge's. I don't know. On a Dodge tangent, as someone that's not like a car enthusiast, I'm not gonna really have the forensic analysis on why I like it so much, more other than just simple visuals. But the 2005 Dodge nose, I found hot. I loved the way it looked, the way it kind of jutted out. It looked mean and nasty. I loved that. I loved the visual look of that. And it was only really there, I think, for one season. And I loved that so much. It just looked awesome. Anyways, we got off to a pretty good start. It doesn't look like this is going to be a Texas situation where we're just going to dominate. So, yeah, we're going to actually have to like, try. I might have to make the car a little bit tight, a little bit looser. We are 3 wide in the middle. That is a horrible, terrifying combination. But you know, we'll just use up Chase Briscoe. Hopefully, Clable wasn't watching. I just kind of scooted him out of the way a little bit. I'm sure Clable's like senses were tingling. Like, he's talking about freaking Briscoe. I know it. And he's snorting. I don't know why he snorts, but. Oh, look, he's trying to get me back, but nah, no. As always, I'm the superior Bass Pro Shops. You may have his car and number, but you ain't gonna have the freaking tenacity. He only got 1 legit win at Darlington. That's not the only win I could say he earned. The other 2, I'm not counting. So Briscoe, you got some work to do to be like Truex. Rant over, because Truex never wins few mileage races. Truex was better than that. Anyways, we're moving up through the field. It looks like 6th place is probably all we're going to get until pit stops. Car is very tight, though. I can feel it. Are you ready for this evening, ladies' night? Oh, bowling alley. Ooh. And, best friend and I are going to do that. Making it routine until you can feel it. Well, hell yeah. That sounds like a good time. Glad to hear. Man, I freaking miss bowling. I tried it once. Back in like April, and I was sore. Even though my body's used to moving around doing stuff, it's not used to moving those specific parts. It got me freaking sore for like a week. I didn't even play 3 games, it was just 2, so I was definitely out of the loop. And then I didn't play again, which I should. It's a great recreational activity, great with friends, which only one of those 2 I can kind of do. I'm really surprised in Texas for, you know, Texas being like a shit show race in real life. No AI wrecks. In my practice, I had 1 AI wreck. So I really thought I was going to get another one. Yeah, NASCAR's going to Homestead for the finale in 26. Whether that's a 1-race finale or 3-3-4... or Chase, I don't know. In my Discord, I got like a thing, a tag, not a tag, but a notification about, it was on a Dale Jr. download or something, that they're saying that the 3-3-4 isn't likely. So that means either a Chase or full season. That's the impression I get, which, hey, if I'm proven wrong, I will be happy about that. Because I really truly thought that's what they would do, is the 3-3-4. And if they're not, then, I mean, I'll be a little bit surprised. Their promotion, though, or the slogan that they keep doing for 2026 is back to basics. And when they have that type of slogan, when they say back to basics, you know, I'm thinking of simplifying things, right? And I guess to some people would say the 10-race chase is simple enough. So, I guess that's one way to look at it. But when I think of back to basics, I think of, like, we're going all the way back. So, I don't want to have too much hope, because I can't imagine they're going to do full season. I would love that, but I would lose my mind if they do that. Because I think the sport is just so scared to just have one person just run away with the championship, or just the thought of it scares them so much that I don't know if they're actually going to do that. So the leader, we're actually gaining about 0.2 on leader right now, so interesting. That is so close to the wall, oh my god. Both times though, so I have to stop picking up tonight. Oh, good luck. That's a wall, oh my god. I hate... They did something with one of the updates that, like, once you hit the wall, you lose so much time, which it shouldn't even be a thing. I'm going to make sure I pit, make this a bit looser, pick 4 tires. Yeah, good luck in the game. So yeah, if JC was here, he'd be like, hey, What if ain't winning? Snort, snort, sniffle. Good. I don't know why I can't. I don't want to hurt my frickin'. I want to get a bloody nose if I frickin' snort. Okay, one AI's pitting, so we're gonna get a good undercut on the rest of the field. I gotta barrel it down pure because the outlaps are stupid, but yeah. Yeah, I would like to see full season. Not like, when I say like full season, I don't mean like Winston Cup points and restructure the. They can literally keep the points they have. With stages and stuff, I think that's fine. I don't mind the concept of stage racing. Stage cautions are stupid. You shouldn't arbitrarily stop the race. It ruins pit strategy. It ruins everything of the flow of the race. Also, it just makes the races take longer, technically, if you have more cautions. So, yeah, I would just prefer when a race starts, you never know when a yellow is going to come out. The unpredictability that the race can change on a dime, not by a predetermined, yellow. So, that's just something I have always hated. Once again, it's one of those, like, they took two steps forward with that idea, and then they took, like, 4 steps back. And I hate the idea of, like, oh, it's better than the caution clock. Yeah, it's better than the caution clock, but, like, I'd rather not have something awful or worse. I'd rather have something good. How about that? And NASCAR goes back to chase format. We're just gonna be back here again 20 years. Yeah, probably, pretty much. And even the original chase format, I think, gets glazed too much with its. It had its problems too. 2011 is really the biggest example, but thankfully that resulted in a exciting finale. So people don't really remember that. Like, Tony Stewart really had no chance in hell because he was mid. He barely got in the championship. And I don't really think a champion of a full season is. I think it just feels a little shallow. If, because then it kind of tells you, well, the first 25 races don't mean anything. You should have a season where you have multiple races not matter. Whether that's 25 races not really mean a whole lot, or 30 races feel like they don't mean anything. Every race should matter. Every race should be able to tell a story on how that season went and build on each other. When you reset the points, you destroy that. You destroy that narrative, which Jordan Bianchi got flamed on Twitter by saying the playoffs generate storylines and, like, full season points wouldn't, which is like, how did the sport survive for 55 years? If there was, like, and to say that, like, full season points generate no stories is one of the most asinine takes ever, because there's always storylines.
You're all clear.
Well, we did cycle pretty good with the undercut. We went from, what, 8th to 3rd? So, yeah, the undercut helped a lot. I think me and Hellman, pitted, at the same time. I don't really know. Maybe I'm wrong. He did get held up in lap traffic, though. So this stage has been mostly me running 8th. The pit cycle kind of helped with that. And we get an AI yellow. I'm going to back out of that. And that's the end of the stage. Alright, I mean, I was going to get a 3rd in that stage anyways, but it ended earlier. And we're going to see if the AI pit here and see what they do. Okay, they pit as they should. Okay.
You okay with this?
I'm going to get my 4 tires and fuel, lower that wedge more.
Here we come.
Alright.
Be ready.
Hot take. The only reason the caution clock only lasted 1 year in the truck series is because Johnny Sauter won the title. Oh my god, that'd be funny if that was the case. That's a conspiracy theory. What was the North Wilkesboro Rant? We haven't gotten there yet. After this race, we will begin that.
Be ready now.
We're going to see what this wedge does with the car, just to get a little bit freer.
One low.
It does seem like we can go a lot lower on the wedge than I expect. This stage is 21 laps.
One bottom.
I guess because of the caution at the end of the stage, added an extra lap, possibly.
One inside.
Yeah, we're going to see what this car has. It seemed to have pretty decent pace.
3 wide.
we're gonna see here. Oh my god, we got John Hunter up here. That's a horrible... Why on earth would he decide to stay out? Daniel Suarez is out here too. Why did they stay out? Oh my... Not lap traffic, but just traffic. That is... It's a lot of cars there. I didn't even notice that. That is... Ew. I started watching NASCAR. Oh god. When they still use the 10 race chase. That's how a lot of people, I think, got into NASCAR, was watching during that era. So people have a lot of nostalgia, a lot of positive, happy, warm, fuzzy vibes, and I get it. I guess I'm like that with my Winston Cup because I was at least old enough, not old enough, but at least was able to remember it. And I don't really remember 7 or 8-year-old me hating the format. I do, obviously, being a lot older, know, like, the only thing that they needed to change is just have the winner get more points. And it has to be in a balanced manner. You can't have the winner, you know, get like 300 points and in second place get 170. It can't be that lopsided, but a little bit of a bump. And again, we can probably use Ryan Newman's 8 wins as like an excuse or like a way to kind of structure, because obviously you don't want it to be up to a point where he can get 8 wins but then DNF and have a horrible bunch of races and still win a championship because of that. Because it should also reward winning and also consistency. So I think structuring it in a way, maybe I always think, because the winner would always get like 185 points or something if you lead the most laps and lead a lap and stuff. 185 was always the max amount of points. In second place could, in theory, be like... They would always have... Because it was weird, because you basically... If second place, you know, led a lap and also led the most laps, they would get the same amount of points as the winner. And I never liked that. The winner should always get more points, regardless. So it always, I feel like probably the winner getting 200 points. Or really, I think what it should be is just the winner gets 190 points, 5 points for leading a lap, and then 5 for leading the most laps. That would be a maximum of 200 points. That's like the maximum. And then second place, the max they can get would be, I would say 170, or technically 180, but then again, is a 20-point bump difference big enough? I would say no. So I would maybe say like the winner gets 200 points, then 205, not 205, but like 5 points for leading the lap, 5 for leading the most. So the maximum is like 210. And then second place, the most they can realistically get is like 180. So that would technically be a 30-point difference. I think that might be better. You don't want it to be something outrageous, but 30 points maybe difference is pretty good. I don't know. It's definitely better than what Winston had. That's really it. Obviously with the stages and stuff, I guess all those points are a little bit different. But I think rewarding 10 additional points for winning, like leading a lap and most laps being bonus points. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, maybe winning a race gives you 10 extra. I don't know. See, that's what I'm thinking. I need to think more about it. But there definitely should be a bit of a difference. But even nowadays, like, the stages alone are enough of a difference. So I feel like that would be enough. We're keeping up with the leaders a lot in this run. Like, we're keeping up, so that's nice. You should just finish last, but win Phoenix in your championship mode. I've heard of that glitch. Don't worry. I've known all about that glitch. It is absolutely unbelievable. That is a thing in this game, to where the playoffs don't really work as they're supposed to for the player, and you can do that. That might be just a really good stream idea, just to show how stupid it is. That's really close to the wall, by the way. Oh my god, that was close. I don't know how I did that. It was hot, but I don't trust myself to do that constantly. See, it does seem like 103 is like a really good balance. If I adjust the setup or like the wedge a little more, maybe I can get a little bit quicker. But yeah, this is about perfect in terms of competitiveness. You can do what IndyCar does and double team out for the final race. I don't even like that in IndyCar, really. That would obviously put emphasis on the final race. But I don't really like doubling the points. I think the race should matter equally and not put that much emphasis on it. I don't know, there's something with it that I just don't like. That feels... It's the most gimmicky IndyCar technically has. I definitely don't want Cup Series doing that. Again, I just think people are just really scared of... I'm gonna lower that wedge even more. When you're in the round of 12 in the Xfinity Series, the game puts everyone in the playoffs, but after the round of 8 is normal. That's weird. Also in 2003, Johnson finished second to Kenneth with 3 wins, yet was 90 points behind. Yeah, so Jimmy had 2 more wins than Kenseth. So with like factoring in like bonus points, if like the bonus points were like a 20 differential, then at least the point situation would have been a little bit closer. But obviously going into that last race, the numbers are a little fudged because Kenseth already had it locked up. I don't know, it's one of those things like Kenseth worked his whole season to build up a point gap to where if he had a mistake or if he had an issue, like, do you really want his championship, his whole body of work throughout that season to be completely nuked? Or because you reset the points like 4 different times? I would prefer now. Also, we just got the lead from that too, so that was okay. Byron undercut me. That's actually okay. We can actually make it one more lap on fuel, so we're gonna be good. At least we should. Torres definitely getting a bit tighter, so that, yeah, making it a little more loose would help. Didn't Johnson gain like 100 points or 200 over Kenseth? He gained a lot at freaking Homestead. That was mainly because Kenseth blew up. Because Kenseth already had like a 170 point lead or something. So, technically in the last Homestead race, Johnson did. But that was because Kenseth blew up. At Homestead. You didn't really care about the format in your race. That's the thing I think people constantly, I don't think, understand is, at least when you're really young, you're not really caring about the points. You're just caring about the races are entertaining. Which I think will go a long way. But yeah, having a format, I think that's just easy to understand. Simple. I think would just go wonders. The 10 race chase technically is, right? But full season just is even easier because you could just say whoever has the most points at the end of the season wins the championship, and that's it. There's no playoffs to complicate it. You shouldn't have to write it out like 2 paragraphs to explain like the format to someone. Like, it just should be very simple. The person with the most points wins. It's like in any other sport, regardless, like racing sport. It should just be that simple. Also, yeah, that undercut. And our outlap speed doesn't help either, but yeah, we lost a second and a half there, so that sucks. No, we're not there at the Wilkesboro Rant, don't worry. We're not... After Kansas is when Wilkesboro's on the schedule, don't worry. We got a lot to talk about with that, because it is bad. So, let's see, what's the interval like? Yeah, they got 1 second on us. It's just really Larson and Byron really just being the best cars in this one. Buescher's running 5th, so JC 1424 whenever he watches this on playback, or maybe he won't, I don't know. At least his Buescher's running 5th. I really want the Buescher Cinnamon Toast car. I really do. I never wanted a paint scheme in a game so badly, and that's one of them. Lap traffic, though. It's a lot low. Oh, no. Never mind. Hey, they're using the apron. I appreciate that. Oh, they got by them, no problem. That's disappointing. I thought they were going to get held up. Correlate, wow. Absolutely wow. I don't, just literally just came down in front of me. What an absolute dumbass lap car of Corey LaJoy. Peak stupidity if I've ever seen it. Gave the leaders all the space, but then just with Truex, nah, he just cuts in front of me. Want the Bowman purple blue ally car? It'll look really good. He could have won a Homestead with. Oh my god, the pain for Bowman losing that Homestead race. I think that was this year, or was it last year? I can't remember. If it was I think it was last year, because I remember feeling like I was just like, I know Turquoise Hawk's gonna hate this. He's gonna have a bad day watching that. Lap traffic is saving us right now. That is a lot of time we just gained right there. That is an absurd amount of time. That is disgusting. Thank you, Cole Custer, for holding up Byron. That made a lot. I thought that was Larson. It was actually, in fact, Hamlin. Never mind. Well, now we have a shot to try to do something with this. It was this year. Okay, it was. Oh, I was thinking last year. I confused myself.
One to go.
Had Burt Myers lead a lap at Kansas. Unless it might have been during a pit cycle. That might be the only way he might lead a lap legitimately.
Inside.
This is fucking sketchy. Oh my god, it was a freaking Chase Briscoe scenario.
You're all clear.
It was like exactly like a Chase Briscoe Kyle Busch scenario. I just like fumbled getting around lap car.
One low.
Oh my god, I could have had a shot at the stage dub and I just screwed it all up. Fine, we'll take second. We'll nip the wall off turn 4 for good measure, but fine, we'll take second.
Top 5 for
We got a car to win if we got lap traffic though. At least Bowman got a win at the freaking Chicago Street Course. Magically. That's a win I'm not going to remember. I just can't believe he pulled that off somehow. Burt was actually making passes. I don't know when Burt has ever made competent passes. That's a rare sight.
Sounds good. We're coming in, fellas.
So, see what this pit stop does. It keeps us second still. Buescher lost 2 spots during that pit cycle.
Be ready.
So yeah, we're going to see how this plays out in this last stage. It should be just like a 1 pit stopper. Lap traffic being a factor will give us a true chance to actually do something here at the end. So we got 25 laps, 14 in the fuel, so everybody should probably be taking 4 tires.
Clear inside.
Car feels pretty good. We don't really have too much problems with it. I think we have a shot to probably pull off the dub.
Low.
It almost seems like I want to rip the high lane.
Inside door.
It almost seems like the middle works pretty good too. I don't know. There's just so many options you can run around with and be fine. So that's one of those aspects with the game I very much appreciate. I can run different lines, and especially at a track like this, and kind of feel like I can make it work. Like I can run here and be okay.
Still there out front. Nice job.
As I think we're okay. We're still too wide. He's still there. And okay, not clear. Not totally clear yet. Not gonna. Okay, now we're clear. Now we're clear. All right. We're gonna see if we can build up this gap and do something, because I'm worried about the pit cycle, because we're gonna lose time from the pit stop. I don't know how much. So I'm very anxious about that. So I want to either keep the lead, maintain the gap, something. Chase Elliott's now 8 times the most popular driver. I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked about it. I just might find it more funny that he doesn't even go to the banquet. He just records it. I don't know. There's just this lack of care that feels really insulting. That he doesn't even want to be there. Or at least even put on a facade of caring. I guess there's some charm to that of just not giving a fuck, but when it's a fan vote, I feel like that should be a huge thing to at least put on the persona of caring. I'm no expert in this, but like I feel like that should be a thing of like, yeah, I should at least show up and like be there to show like, you know, actually be there to thank the fans. To just record it on your phone shows like such a lack of care. And it honestly kind of makes it sickening that Chase Elliott even have fans if this is how he's gonna reciprocate those feelings. And honestly, at this point, I even question how much he really cares. I feel like he's gonna be one of those drivers that when he retires, he's just gonna be gone from social media and just do his own thing. And you're gonna hear him in his podcast talk about, not his podcast, but like in a Dale Jr. podcast of some kind. That was also a really epic pass Larson just did on the lead, by the way. That was really fucking cool, but I'm going on my Chase Elliott rant, which Day 500 would love a lot. I know he doesn't like Chase Elliott. But if he's watching, I'm thinking of you as I'm ranting about Chase Elliott.
Still there.
Because that bugs me so much. That's how he carries himself with that. It bugs me. Dale Jr. at least always was appreciative for fans voting for him. Chase Elliott just not being there and just recording his thing through a phone just doesn't really... Like, if I was a Chase Elliott fan and I saw that's how he reciprocated those feelings for voting for him, kind of would rub me the wrong way. And I feel like, you know, it would almost make me not want to be a fan. That's how he's going to treat the supporters of him. Because he has a lot to be freaking thankful for, to have a lot of fans, because a lot of them are probably carried from Bill Elliott. Which I know that's probably a big part of where Dale Jr. got his fans from, but like, at least he like verbally appreciates it. Chase Elliott just doesn't have much to really like latch onto. And it's frustrating because that's the most popular driver, and this is like how he cares, and he cares so little of it. I don't know. I guess there's some kind of badass charm that I'm just not seeing, but I don't know. We lost the lead there, so I don't think our car is as good as I thought. How much looser do I need to make this thing, by the way, just to be competitive? He just like drove by me. Or NASCAR only invited the final four for each series. Ugh. Man, the banquet used to kind of be exciting to watch. The fact that they did it so quickly, like right after, and it just feels like they just want to get it over with. It used to be such a big prestigious thing to have like a top 10 be a part of it, but I guess no other racing series does a banquet like that. I guess other series find that weird. I don't know, there was always a charm that the Cup Series did that. To reward the top 10 for their excellence and everything. It made it feel special. Now it just feels so pointless. I just feel bad for Hamlin. I never thought I would feel this much feeling for Hamlin. It really put me in perspective that I must still care in some way of the Cup Series. If I got emotionally invested in Hamlin winning that championship, even though he wasn't the best all year, it was just a storyline of just what his dad was going through and racing it for his sake, and honestly putting on like the race of his career and doing everything right to have it get ripped because of a yellow with 3 to go, because of a pit call like that. It really upsets me. I just wished it was just under a different circumstance. If he just... It's just really depressing. I don't know. Something about it. Honestly, I wouldn't even blame Hamlin for wanting to retire after that. It gives me Carl Edwards vibes, how he's gone about all of this, like his feelings. I guess he's a lot more vocal with it than what Edwards did at the time. But I think if Hamlin just stopped playing the heel and just started being himself, I think, you know... I think people would like him a lot more. There's something with him that I think people can appreciate, and that's just his honesty. His takes might be wrong, his takes might be correct, but like I at least appreciate it because no other driver is as vocal as him. People are gonna really miss him when he's gone, which is the vibe I'm getting. Because he's done stupid shit on track. I'm not gonna sit here and justify it. I'm gonna pit. Guy. Get ahead of him. Alright, there we go. But yeah, I don't know. I think until he does something stupid, if he does something stupid on track, I'll call him out like I would with anyone else. But like, he's got me in his good graces. It wouldn't shock me as soon as I start liking a driver, they just retire or something. I don't know. There would be such like a dramatic irony. Or when Davey Allison won most popular driver. Oh my god. When did he win it? I don't remember this. I can't remember. Brian France ran off stage. Can we go? Like, Jesus Christ, we just stopped. Well, there goes any advantage we could have had. It's absolutely ridiculous. We just stopped. We're just chilling after the pit stop's over. We just sit there. Like, we got it. Like, I had a Hellman in entering period, and we just lost, what, 2 seconds? Oh my god, I hate that so fucking much. The only thing we got going for us is lap traffic screwing them. That is the only thing. When was that? No, not the, yeah, the Brian France frickin' shit. Yeah, I remember that. That was the last banquet I remember because Truex won the championship and Brian France, like, gave him a quick handshake and then, like, left the stage and he was, like, really awkward about it and, like, was so quick about it. And it was really disgusting, honestly, because if that's how you're going to treat your Cup Series champion, regardless of who the hell it is, that's a horrible look to have the owner of the sport quickly do that in such a quick fashion. Just shows such a lack of care and such a disrespect to the champion. Is such a disgusting look, and it really shouldn't be that hard to put on a face. So yeah, the Brian France era, especially in those last 2 years, even by 2015, it was such a shambled mess. And it definitely was one of those industry things that, like, they knew. They absolutely knew that he was on shit. There's no way that he was not. That they were not aware. He was more of just a face for the sport than, like, a real leader. I mean, even when he left, you saw how much the sport changed after he left. Nothing really changed. It really wasn't Brian France's sport. It was ran by committee. Because once Jim France took over, nothing really changed. So I think that kind of tells you a lot about the leadership at that point in time. But it also kind of tells you his lack of interest. And it has been documented. It's been in books and shit. Been in reports. I mean, in 2006, he was caught with oxycodone and shit. And it kind of got swept under the rug. So this has been an issue that he's had for a long, long time. So this isn't just a, you know, oops, you know, it just happened, bad time. And no, this has been like an issue he's had for a long time. How long? At least as far as 2006, but it could be going back even further. I mean, when Dale Earnhardt's telling Jeremy Mayfield to, like, essentially to watch out for Brian France because he's going to destroy the sport. If Dale Earnhardt knew something was up as early as 2000, then that probably is unrelated to drug shit, but, like, if Earnhardt had those kind of suspicions or telling Mayfield to kind of, like, watch out or, you know, be careful, tells me that his leadership was going to be questionable for a long time. So I don't know, that's a whole other freaking thing. But yeah, 2017 was just one of those, like, things that bugged me. Just in how he brushed off congratulating Truex in such a manner. It was really gross. I didn't like that back then. I don't like that now. Well, we're fourth. Hamlin's leading with 5 laps to go. We're about 2.3 back. I don't think we're going to make up that gap. Unless lap traffic somewhere along the line helps, but even with the wedge adjustment still, I mean, we have to go all the way down to 45 for this thing to turn because it's at 46.5 and it still won't freaking turn. Why is Kansas such an incredibly tight car with this freaking, or tight track with this car? I don't know. But, yeah, we're gonna get a decent finish out of it.
5 to go.
No, it's nice to not, you know, not have a race that's like super. Whereas we just absolutely destroy the field. I'm catching Byron though, so there's a chance we do something. Larson's catching Hamlin, so some kind of battle for leads brewing, just as there's a battle brewing for third place. As it looks like Larson got the lead, so that's boring. Can lap traffic bone him so Hamlin can win? Please. I kind of prefer that. I gained like I was gaining a 10th, but not anymore. All black traffic boning Hamlin. It's all right. Well, I guess. God, stop. God damn. Oh, okay. Thank you, Byron. I appreciate that. So yeah, there's definitely a battle brewing up at the front. I wish I can see it. But lap traffic is cucking somebody. I think it just boned Hamlin. My car won't turn anymore.
Clear low if you want it.
Because I probably could have gained a lot of time, but nope. Nope, it just couldn't happen. I might get a Hamlin dub possibly, but Larson's right there behind him again. So this is an epic battle up at the front. Larson's gonna pass him. Isn't that what's happening? I can see it. It's a pixel, but I can see it. We're low on fuel, but we should make it to the end on fuel. It was good that I pitted when I did. Yep, there goes Larson again. Lap traffic tried their damnedest to help Hamlin. I'll give them that, but it just was not enough.
Clear outside. Car inside.
Oh my god, Hamlin got held up by a lap car. I saw it. I could barely see it. It's really hard to see it, but Hamlin just got completely cucked by lap traffic. Alright, we'll just have to accept the Larson win now. Boo. Boo to that. Hamlin can't even get has to choke in a video game now. Not that he really did in real life, just making that clear. The only one he really choked in was like 2010, but like everybody wants to glaze that like Hamlin chokes at everything. But it was only one championship out of the freaking 8 that he probably had a shot in.
Fuel if you can.
I don't know, we'll bring it home third. That's a fine enough day. Want your take on a prediction? I think in a few years the lower series Xfinity trucks will go to streaming service in a few. Yeah. Not really a bad take. Be curious to see if they actually go through with it though. No other sport minor leagues around TV regularly like NASCAR. I totally see them doing that. I mean, if they're starting to do that with Cup, then it's very possible they can do that with the other series too. As I don't really care if they go streaming. I don't really care for much for cable anyways anymore. So, if that's the direction they go with, I would be fine with. I don't really think the older people, like 40 on up, are going to probably like that. And I get it. So, I don't know. So, a lot of cars a lap down, up to 24th. And we bring it home third. So Larson's going to gain some points on me today for sure. Because I think he's the new second place person in points. If we're going off of like full season points. That was a 38-minute race. And everything. So, yeah. Now after that, now we can get into the rant. The rant that I've been wanting to talk about. Like the thumbnail suggests. So we got a, let's look at the points here. So Larson gets a second win of the year. We got a 46-point lead on Larson. He did cut the gap on me there. And Bell is the highest person without a win. BS 439. So I think he's like 4th in points, full season points. That's why I want to do a live stream just on the full season. Because we're not going to have these playoffs screwing it up. And it's going to honestly make it a lot harder to be competitive. Because the AI, the top AI runs so good every single race, you have to run like top 5, top 10. So we do got to update my handy dandy guide here. I think Kansas on 103 is pretty good. You can update that. Yeah, 2010 title respun through the grass. Yeah. But it's both his pit crew and Hellman himself. Because the pit crew, if he just didn't pit and ran wherever he was currently running, he would have such a point buffer that even if he choked at Homestead, I think he still might have been okay. We had to do the math, but either it would be really close or he would have won. I don't know the exact math, obviously. So somebody's going to be on, going through their racing reference like that and figure it out. So we're going to see. But yeah. So yeah, let's get into North Wilkesboro as I back out of the whole thing entirely. So let's rant about this for a second, all right? Yeah, actually, I'm going to freaking... Do I got enough space on my computer for a rant? Okay, I got enough space. Okay. Let's. I'm gonna start deleting shit so I can have some space here so I can rant about this properly. Because these career mode videos take up so much freaking space on my computer. It's maddening. Make sure I got rid of this and give myself more space here. Not that I don't think I need more space. But just to be safe. Because this deserves its own video just to rant on. Because this is genuinely really freaking stupid. Damn, that went from 20 gigs to 79. Damn, okay, that helped out a lot. Why is it still freaking in the red though? Should be like... The red should be like for under 50 or something. I don't know, whatever. Let's get into this rant, right? Because this is the point of the stream. This is where we're gonna get stupid. Let's go full face cam for this. Not for the whole video, but like throughout it, so we can get this, situated. I'm gonna get rid of chat for this, so we'll keep the alert box open. Fuck it. I don't want people to feel like they can't super chat at any point. Yeah, let's rant about this because this is the point of the stream. Let's look beautiful. I gotta put on my freaking gotta look beautiful for this. All right, this is like watching a live video. I kind of like doing these. They're kind of fun. So in championship mode, it's see this is where I would do another take. Let me drink something first. This is how it sometimes starts. Where sometimes I'll start something and then I fumble and then I cut it. And... All right. So in NASCAR 25, there's a big problem with the championship mode. One of the biggest problems is North Wilkesboro, and honestly, it's, I guess for context, just to start, in NASCAR 25, North Wilkesboro replaces Mexico on the schedule. So in championship mode and in career, it just removes Mexico and it replaces it with the All-Star race, and it treats it as a race. That's where it replaces. That's fine. If that's what they want to do, more power to them. However, it needs to work. It genuinely needs to work. All right, so to explain this, I gotta play the game so you can understand this. All right, so let's get into that real quick. So we're in just regular championship mode, and the settings with it, I should just show what it looks like. So this is where it replaces. It's on race number 13. This is where Mexico would have been on a schedule. So the All-Star race is now treated as just a points-paying race, presumably. I know it says All-Star race, but on a schedule, it is counted as race 13. So when you look at this, you genuinely think it's just a part of the schedule now, and it's just treated as a normal points event. That's how you, when you look at that, that's how you take it. But when you do the race, it's completely different. So let's take a real clear look at the points for myself and Kyle Larson and this top 5. This is what we have. This is what we got. I have 542. Larson has 496. and I'm going to make this race. I backed out of the thing. So we're going to do this race. We're going to make it very short because none of this matters. Technically, this race is the epitome of just filler. It literally is. There's no point. They have an entire race on in this championship mode that is just completely irrelevant. And I really don't know why it's like this. I really don't. It makes no sense. Because it's just a waste of time. And I only know this from other videos I've seen. If someone genuinely wanted to run a 25% race, 100% race, or whatever, they run this entire race, and then they look back at the menu and realize, hey, none of this mattered. None of the points add up. I just wasted 35, 40 minutes of my time, however amount of time this would be. And it's stupid. It's absolutely stupid. It should not be like that. Honestly, I have no idea why it's like this, how it's fumbled in this manner. I really don't. It really shouldn't be that hard. Honestly, I don't even need to do qualifying. I think I just backed out of the whole game entirely. No, I didn't. But yeah, there's no point to qualify. And I'll show you why. So not only does none of this matter and no points are applicable, I can't even say the word, applicable, whatever, the race itself is completely upside down. I mean, is there even a point to put in a freaking setup of none of this matters? No, not really. So not only is that just bad in of itself, where none of this point, there's no points rewarded, nothing matters. The field size is completely destroyed. As you see, there's only 23 cars in this field. Why is that? Well, because this is an all-star race, so it puts in the amount of cars that were in the all-star race, which is, I guess for 2025 was around 23 cars. So now you have half the field not getting points, or at least presumably not getting points when you race this for the first time and you're just taking all this in. Like, when you're racing this, you're already kind of thinking, okay, something's already up, because where is the 40 cars? Where is our field? The field is borderline cut in half. So it has the field size of like the all-star cars, and that's already weird in and of itself. And there's also no stages. I know I should just back out of this and just show this entirely. Just, there's no stages or anything. So it literally is acting like an all-star race, but without any of the segments, without any of the stages, nothing. Makes no goddamn sense. It's so confusing to process it, because it really shouldn't be that hard. Obviously, you're not going to get a good idea on what this is like. So we're going to put it at 25%. I'm not going to run the whole thing because there's no point. But I just want to show that there's no stages even. And stages, we're going to put that to multiple. And we're going to have everything at tire where it doesn't matter, because I just want to prove this point real quick. So yeah, let's return to race, get into everything else, and just show that there's like not even segments, there's no stage. So it's trying to be an all-star race, but without the format, without the stages, without the segments. But it's like it has half of the elements. It has half of the freaking field size like an all-star race, but doesn't really have the rules or the laps like an all-star. It will just say, when we get to the race itself, it'll just say 63 laps. Yep, 63 laps, as you see on the screen. So there's no stages, it's just one stage. I don't understand that. That does not make any sense. Hell, if I could explain it, this just screams, absolutely screams lack of attention to detail. I don't care if it's championship mode, single race, championship mode, they all should be given time. If you're gonna fumble this badly when you're putting it in the game, why even have this here? At that point, just have 35 races, right? I mean, I think people would probably go nuclear if they saw 35 races, because people did that with Xfinity when they didn't see Portland and Mexico being on the schedule. So maybe that's what they were thinking. But what's even more confusing, if that wasn't confusing enough, let's back out of this real quick. And let's go to regular quick race. So you're thinking, okay, maybe that's this is just like, so this is an issue in championship mode only, or maybe this is just how it is even in single player. We're gonna find that out, because it gets even more confusing, because when you run this race in like single player or like regular like single player, what happens as we're gonna, I want to show this here to reveal it in like real time. Thankfully this game loads fast so I can show everything, but just to show like what it gets more confusing when you get into the race itself.
Time to go. Good luck out there.
Hold on, dramatic pause here.
Ready now. There's the green flag.
And once we hit the line, you're gonna see, obviously we got 39 cars. We have 39 cars for this. Where is this in season mode? Or the championship mode? They clearly have it in the game, like this is possible, so why is the championship mode race have the field size replicated like the All-Star, but then single player it has the full like 39 cars? Like what I'm seeing now with the field size, because we could go on about the stages not existing or no segments like an All-Star race, because they should definitely be there, because it is an All-Star race. But the game at least has the ability to have a full field. This is what it should be in the championship mode. But even still, even if all that's correct, there's no points being rewarded, so it literally is just wasting your time. If you're gonna fumble this, adding the track to replace Mexico that poorly, don't even have it here. Or fix this. Because this is so lazy, such a lack of care put into the championship mode. That's a whole other thing of the freaking Phoenix race. You can literally not even be in the final four. You can I'm literally stroking here because I'm literally emphasizing it. You can basically just not even run the races the whole season, go to Phoenix, and then just win a championship, even though you're not in the final four, not in the playoffs, not anything, and win a championship. That's stupid. It's so ass backwards, so pathetic to even do this. It shouldn't be like this at all. So, North Wilkesboro is so broken with the championship mode to where you can just basically sim it. But oh wait, gasp emoji, there's no sim option, so you just have to lower the race percentage to like 2%. And get this race out of the way, because there's no point. It's not an all-star race because it doesn't have the exact format. It's got the field size, but not the formats or like the rules or the segments. But that's not what this is for a championship mode race. This is just a regular, like, just presented as a normal race. So it should just literally be, it's such a mess, like, because there's no stages either. It's like there's just like such a laundry list of just things wrong that just doesn't need to be wrong. It really doesn't need to be like this. Like I was saying, if you're not gonna respect the rules of the All-Star race, or if you're gonna treat it as a points-paying race, reward fucking points. Don't just have it be nothing. But it's unbelievable. It's absolutely unbelievable that you can fumble this to such an extent. Because honestly, if none of this is going to be put in the game fairly and not have points matter, because it is an all-star race, so points technically would matter, but it's treated as an actual points race, don't even have it on schedule. If you can't do any of this right, this shouldn't even be race 13. It should literally be just an exhibition race. Then I guess a lot of that problems would be solved if it was just that, right? But then there would be 36 races on the schedule. So, I don't know. It's nonsensical. It's messy. It's lazy. Should not be like this. At all. And thank God I caught this before even doing this recording. Because imagine if I just sat here and ran this entire race just to realize that none of this mattered. None of these points mattered. And it literally is just a waste of time. Even if the points mattered, you don't have half the field. So it would be even worse. So the only way to fix this is literally not have it be a part of the schedule. Change the race 13 to literally be just an exhibition race. And then I guess you would kind of fix those problems, right? But don't treat it as race 13 when it's not really a points paying race. Don't pretend it is. And also get the freaking, I don't know why this is so hard. So yeah, this is just a complete mess and a waste of my time. Thankfully I can, just run 5 laps and get this over with, but it's completely irrelevant. So we'll get this done and over with and move on to the next race where points actually matter and just move on. This part of the championship mode and this part of the game absolutely feels rushed. Absolutely. There's no excuse to have this fumbled this badly. Either include it with the proper points or don't at all. Alright, that's really all it is. Because when we look at the standings here, there's no points. Don't pretend it's race 13 in a points paying race when it's not. Literally should just not either be here at all or change it to being an exhibition race or a special race and then only have 35 races. Again, the concept of switching it, replacing Mexico for this as a points race, it's fine in theory. I don't care. But don't do whatever this is and waste your time. So for anybody that's doing a championship mode or anybody that accidentally ran this race thinking like it was a points paying race and realizing it wasn't, it's just a waste of time. So, and I think even then it still counts the pole. So make sense of that with what you will, because that gets even more confusing. If it counts the pole, I don't know. There's no reason it should be like this. And it's gross. It's one of those things that should be fixed. Because if single player, because when I first saw this, I really thought, like, okay, they're treating it as it's like they tried to do half but failed. I don't, because they got the car count size correct for like as an all-star race, but then in single player it's got 39 like an actual. Either treat it as a points race or treat it as an all-star race with the proper segments and then not count it as a points race. Don't do this like weird half and half where it doesn't matter. God forbid somebody does a long race on this game, or it's just a waste of time. It literally is just a waste of time. And there's no worse feeling than doing an entire race and feeling like you wasted your time. So imagine that. So thankfully I knew this beforehand to avoid this happening, because I'd be really upset if I just wasted like 35-40 minutes of my time for a race that just didn't matter when it was telling me it was a points race when it really isn't. But then it's a mess. It shouldn't be like this. So yeah, absolute waste of time with that part of the freaking championship mode, and shouldn't be like that. So that's my thoughts. That's my tangent on that. I very much dislike how this was all handled, and it's just stupid. I don't know what more to really say. That's my tangent. And yeah, this is just a warning for people doing championship mode at this point in time when you get to the Cup Series over North Wilkesboro. Literally just run a super quick race of it and just, be aware of that problem, because I don't want people wasting their time or feeling like they're wasting their time on something.